If you right before you got here, I was giving you a shout redemption. How's it going, everybody? Happy Father's Day. Where's the dads? Put them up. Where's dads? All right, everybody say Happy Father's Day, dads.
Сегодня день отцов.
Well, let's just get the awkward part out of the way. You probably recognize me. Extreme Eddie Airtime, famous motorcycle stuntman, 20 years jumping things on motorcycles. Let's hear it for me. Thank you, both of you. 20 years I spent jumping things on motorcycles. You might remember when I jumped over Westminster Abbey on a motorcycle. That was me. Anybody back there from the UK? Okay, good. I don't care for the England. No, just joking. I jumped over a Mayan pyramid. Quacking. That was me. Anybody back there from, I don't know, I'm not super great with geometry, man. Peru, you say? That sounds I jumped over the Great Wall of China on a motorcycle. I jumped the Great Wall of China. How many people have heard of the Great Wall of China? By show of hands, go ahead. Okay, it's like 4 people. I'm going to have to keep these jokes a lot simpler if 4 people have heard of the Great Wall of China. I can tell you that right now. I jumped it, the Great Wall of China. I jumped it on a motorcycle, long-wise. Landed it, landed them all. I've never not landed. I've never landed on my wheels. I am a little accident prone. On the last one, I really hurt myself. I broke my tibula, my fibula, my scapula, the falapula. I separated the carapula from the spatula. I delaminated the tilapia. I fractured my liver in Southeast St. Patrick's Day. And I was looking for something to jump, and Boston Duck Tour said, hey, we'd like to sponsor your next motorcycle jump. I said, come on, keep talking. What do you mean? They said, we're going to pay for everything. Motorcycle, ramp, ambulance, capelet, bedazzler. I said, great, so I'll give you a routing number. They said, well, no, it's more complicated. We want you to do tours for us. I said, okay, there it is. There's the catch. How many tours do you want me to do for you, Boston Duck Tours? They said 37. So 36 after you guys. This is my first one, so I'm nervous. I said, Boston Duck Tours, I'll do your weird idea, but I don't go anywhere and do anything without Joe. This is Joe. Everybody say, hey, Joe. All right. Don't touch. I'm sorry. Don't touch it. Joe and I go way back. He's been my safety engineer pretty much the whole career, so he does the left brain problem solving, pushing, all that stuff. That's what he's good at. I don't do that. I do right brain. You know, but we're a really good team because he's left brain and I'm right brain, and so together we make mostly left brain, I guess. Yeah, he crunched some numbers and he said, you know what, Airtime, the 80s were rough on you, man, so why don't you let me do the thinking and the driving? You just do the talking, you know. I was like, okay, that sounds good. What should I talk about? He goes, who cares? Nobody's paying attention. TikTok has ruined people's ability to pay attention enough for longer than 16 seconds at a time anyway, you know what I mean? So he said, whenever you see an old building, toss out a day without any context. That should suffice, you know. As long as you keep it moving, it's all about attention span, you know. I said, what were we talking about? He said, I forgot. You see that building ahead of us? Over there? That's the oldest fire station in Back Bay, right there. This is an area we're called Back Bay. That's ladder 15, engine 33. This is a great place for a souvenir. You come into this fire station, you say hi to the firefighters, you buy a t-shirt. It supports the Fallen Firefighters Fund and the Muscular Dystrophy Association. Firefighters. That's a good souvenir. A bad souvenir is a snow globe. Where are you two ladies from? Right here. My 2 friends in the front. You're from Miami, Arizona? Oh, wait a minute, Florida? Florida. We got 2 people from Florida, 2 lovely ladies from Florida. So put on the turn signal, leave it on the whole time for our friends from Florida, okay? This is makes the people from Miami. No, I know, that's considered a sign of weakness, right? I know, man. Nice to have you, Florida friends. What about you 2 little friends? Where are you guys from right there, man? You 2, these 4 conferring about something important. Where are you 4 from? Oh, what's up, LA? So he's from here, he's a local, and you're from LA. I can tell you're from LA, kid. High cheekbones, perfect hair, you know what I mean? You're LA, I can see it all over you. Yeah, California, Los Angeles, California, right? Yeah. Yeah, brother and sister. All right, very good. I'm getting a lot more information than I bargained for. Hold on a minute. And you guys are locals. Check it out, dude. What's up, kid? Go Sharks. What's up, local bro? I'm from Los Angeles as well, but I live out here now for 17 years. But I'm from LA. You could probably tell right away because of all these R's. And you're from LA too. The whole crew is from LA. We're apparently rolling from LA.
Что-то мы тут стоим, застоялись.
This one and this one are what? Neighbors? Name twins. Oh, that's got to be an LA thing, man. So does that mean you have the same name? Okay, all right, name twins. All right. Oh, you're both named Max. Okay, nice to have you, Maxes. Nice to have you. Good. Who are you waving at, ma'am? Over here? Oh, this is cute. You know what's happening on over here? It's that thing, what's it called? Fan Expo. Is anybody here for Fan Expo? Oh, everybody important to pop culture in the 1980s and 90s is here, man. Chevy Chase is here. Everybody's here. Did you see John Travolta? Is that true? Is he a fan? Oh no, but no, like the real ones, the real Chevy Chase, they're all here. You know, these guys are all in that part of their career where they just chill out. Now go check out the fans, sign stuff. You know, Shatner's here. Isn't that cool? Astronaut William Shatner. He's actually here right now. Yeah, isn't that fun? Yeah, and there's a lot of people dressed up as their favorite characters. Yeah. Where are you two from? Right here. You're from China? Nice to have you guys from China, huh? Remember when I jumped the Great Wall? Everything wasn't that cool? I'll sign something for you guys, huh? What about you, sir? Where are you from? Newburyport. Nice to have you. Now there's a real local friend. Hi. And what about you, ma'am? You work in Albany, New York? Nice to have you, my friend. Hi, upstate, right? Nice to have you. Oh, man, look at this traffic. What a nightmare this is, huh? I'm going to find out where everybody's from. I'll tell you about all this stuff in a minute. Okay, these two. You're poking at those two. Where are they from right over there? From Georgia? Oh, those are nice people. You ever met anybody from Georgia? I used to date a girl from Georgia, Jennifer, in Atlanta. Do you know Jennifer? I bet you do, so that's what broke us up, to be honest with you. She knew a lot of people. But very nice people in Georgia. Do you think people out here are nice? You do. Very naive people from Georgia. Yeah. One is the guy from Newburyport. And these are LA friends right over there, right there. You're the LA ones, these are the local friends. Hi, local in LA. And then what about behind California? Where in LA? From where? Studio City. Born in north of Dresden, Los Feliz, man. Yeah, hi. A little bit of Fairfax. What about right there? Go ahead.
Portland, Oregon.
Oh, Portland, Oregon. That glowing orb in the sky up there, it's called the sun, sir.
Yeah, we don't
Enjoy. I know you don't, but you get a lot of comic book artists, man. All the Marvel creators are down there in Portland. Real hip place, man. And then what about back here? You, ma'am, you two friends right there. Where are you guys from? Somewhere? Oh, Connecticut, New York, Massachusetts. And this is the Connecticut crew right there. Is there 4 of you? Hi, Connecticut. You guys maybe motorcycle gang or something? I don't know. You guys strike me as gang affiliated. There's like an element of danger, right? I can see it. Hi, Connecticut. And then what about behind Portland back there, friends? Where are you from? Hi.
We're locals too, Ashland.
You're locals. Where'd you say, Ashland?
Ashland.
Nice to have you, friends. Hi, local friends. And then what about behind these guys in Connecticut? Hey, what's up?
What's up? New Jersey.
New Jersey. That's okay, sir. That's nothing to be ashamed of. I'll tell you right now. No, I'm just messing. Jersey gets a bad rap. It doesn't deserve anything that it gets. Every time you meet somebody from Jersey, they're like, hey, forget about it. Hey, oh, forget about it. None of that is true. Jersey's got all kinds of cool history, man. Pine Barrens. You got the beautiful Jersey Shore, you know. It's a little bit true. I went to school in New York. I once borrowed money from a guy in Weehawken, and I went up in the trunk of a car in Toronto. So it's a little bit true what they say about Jersey, but not wholly, not holistically, you know. Hi, Jersey. What about behind Jersey? You're also Jersey? Is this all a Jersey contingent? Yeah, hi. Hi, friends. And then you in the corner, are you guys Jersey?
No, Australia.
From Australia? Wow. Hi, Australian friend. Oh, everything in Australia I learned can poison you, bite you, eviscerate you, burn you, sting you, right? Isn't that true, all the creatures? You're safe out here. You got nothing to worry about out here, man. Yankees fans, that's it. That's the only thing you have to worry about out here. Hi, Australian. What about you guys back there?
Silicon Valley.
I beg your pardon?
Silicon Valley.
From, did you say Bali? Silicon Valley? What's up, Silicon Valley? I used to live in the Bay Area too, man. Emeryville, before Pixar was even built, man. And northern Oakland, 65th and Dana, and Orinda on the other side of the Caldecott Tunnel there, a little time in Redwood City, San Francisco, Bush Street, Lower Number, you know what I mean? I was wanted by the law, so I moved around a lot. Silicon Valley. So we know where everybody's from. You know where I'm from. This leaves only Joe. Since we're going to be here for a long time, I should probably tell you about Joe now. Joe has taken a vow of silence. So he said it's the last words that he spoke before his vow of silence kicked in on June 3rd. He said, every time I give you leave to tell my story. So Joe is from Iceland. Yes, he is as surprised as you are. He's from a little village in Iceland called because overtaken, I think, by a lava flow. I don't know. For the love of God, this traffic is terrible, Joe. What's going on? Are there this many nerds in the world? I don't think this is from the convention, do you? What's just happening? It's just a Sunday Father's Day? That's fine. We got nothing going on. I got plenty of information. Do you guys want some arcane, abstruse information? Or you guys strike me as potentially emotionally immature. Would you prefer to quack? Okay, let's do some quacking. Okay, let's just get that part out of the way. I am contractually obliged, as I sign this cross-promotional effort with Boston Duck Tours, to quack at least 3 times on each tour. So here's the way that this will work. When we're driving around, sometimes people will quack at us. Now, when people quack at us, how do we typically respond? Typically, we will ignore them, sir. Yeah, I've come to find out that New Englanders are kind of passive-aggressive, but I have to meet the terms of my contract, so to do that, we'll quack. So the first rehearsal doesn't count. Here's the way it's gonna work. I throw the horns, I say my name, airtime, and then you guys will go quack, quack, okay? I don't, what's that? What is that, Connecticut, that you have there? What is that? No, see that? That's the problem with your entire generation. You rely too much on technology. Look at it. You got an earbud in right now. I'm in the middle of a conversation. You got an earbud. He's got his little digital quacker. What are you going to do? What's going to happen if an electromagnetic storm happens? That thing is going to cease to function, okay? You don't even need that. Save that for later. Listen to my quack. Listen, here's how, okay, listen. And I know that you guys are like, I think you're creative people. I get a vibe that you're kind of creative people. I know for certain Studio City is you can't even live there if you're not creative, so, or at least finance creative people, one of the 2 things. So here's what's gonna happen. I don't want to hear any improvisation. I don't want to hear meow, meow. I don't want to hear woof, woof. I know you think we're in traffic and you guys can improvise. I just want to hear the dialogue as it's written. It's just quack, quack. It's like Mallet. It's very specific dialogue. Okay, here we go. And I take this very seriously because I have a degree in acting. Have you ever wondered what you do with a degree in theatrical performance? This is it right here. You ride backwards in a bus as a middle-aged man, pretend to be a motorcycle stuntman for healthcare. So I say airtime, you guys go quack, quack. Let's practice it. Here we go. Airtime! What? That was pretty good, man. Holy moly, that was actually not bad. It should be a little more diaphragmatic tonal quality, a little more basso profundo. Listen to mine. Okay. You see, you want me to do it again? Okay, we'll do it together. Let's just do it together. Maybe you need a point of focus. I don't know. How about these people over there on the left-hand side minding their own business? Now, when you're quacking at somebody, it's important not to make eye contact, okay? A lot of these people could pull the soul right out through your eyeballs. You don't want to look at them in the eyes. Okay, here we go. And airtime. Yeah, wow. A little bit late, man, but still good. You missed your cue. But that's okay. It sets it apart. Now it's like Altman, you know. Very good. This worked out nicely. Let's do one more bonus quack. Here we go. Airtime. Wow. Holy moly. I really brought something out. I'm sorry for taking credit for that, but I really brought that out. And I do act, but what I really want to do is direct. Look at these 90-degree angles. Look at these long, straight streets. Look at these broad avenues. That's kind of rare in New England. Do you typically see that? Not at all, right? You really don't. Oh, look at these cars. Woof. Woof. Look at this. Is nice. Oh, man. I'll take that GTO over that other one. That's pretty nice. You know, wouldn't you? I'll take the GTO.
Нет.
Pretty nice. only go in the water once. I mean, I'm not being competitive, but a car like that can only go in the water once. You know what I mean? This week we go in the water. So, long straight streets, broad avenues. What sets this apart from the other parts of Boston? We'll see tomorrow morning when we get into the older part of Boston. You're going to see the streets become windy. They're crazy. You'll see people with out-of-state plates literally pulled over, weeping by the side of the road, trying to figure out where they are, filling out divorce papers on the dashboard. So, why is it so different here from the older parts of Boston? Does anybody know? Do my locals know? Sometimes locals aren't even savvy to this. It's landfill. The reason this area is called Back Bay is because it used to actually be the Back Bay of the Charles River. And 6 days a week, 24 hours a day for 35 years, we would bring in the soil from a place called Needham Heights, which are no longer heights, because it's all underneath us. We expanded the land area of Boston from initially 1.5 miles. That's how big Boston was. In the era of the American Revolution, Boston was 1.5 miles in total land area. Boston is about 40 square miles now. We did this from filling a bunch in and incorporating other nearby bodies of land, which weren't considered Boston at the time, which are considered part of Boston. So this is a big old enormous landfill project. Now, when I say landfill, you know I don't mean garbage. Some people say Boston is built on garbage, and those people are wrong and probably from New York. But it is built on soil from elsewhere. You can get over in that lane if you want. I'll help you get over there. Hold on a second. Okay, I got the turn signal on. Go ahead. Okay, that guy, he's going to let us go. That Toyota's going to let us go, Joe. Okay. Yeah. All right, now we're moving. Oh my God, Joe, you dealt with that very well. Didn't Joe deal with that very well? Nary a horn, nothing. He's just a very patient person. If this was me behind the wheel, I would be in tears already, to be honest with you, you know. But he's doing a very good job. Yeah, so they filled it all in. Boston at the time of the American Revolution was only 1.5 miles in area, shaped like a little frying pan. This is a very sort of a wealthy port for a long time. That's one of the reasons that King George was paying so much attention to this particular colony out here. It was a good source of revenue. A lot of people had been making a lot of money. Post-revolution, there's still a lot of money out here to be made, so the population would just continue to grow, a more and more densely populated area. And this was the best way to, you know, to meet the needs of the growing population, was to grow the land. And so that's what they did. Okay, so we are now, we're going to be crossing over the Boston Marathon finish line, okay? When we cross over, everybody should go, woo, put your hands in the air and everything. Here we go. Woo! Yeah! Very good, you guys, very good. Here's a beautiful church called the New Old South Church. This is made from Roxbury pudding stone. That's the state rock of Massachusetts now. And this church has the oldest congregation in America that belongs to the church. There's a woman in the front row who's so old at this point, she's just dust. You know, they'll say, don't sit there, that's Margaret, you know. Yeah, she's, we won't say just an old lady, but she is an old lady. We mustn't diminish the wisdom of the young. I know she's a very nice lady. Now this is called Roxbury pudding stone. That's the state rock of Massachusetts, and they use this stone to prove that Pangea. Have you heard of Pangea? This is a concept. Many years ago, there was just one supercontinent, you know, and it's been broken up into many continents. But this is many, many years ago, 30, 40 years ago. And they were able to prove it because this stone is found in North Africa. It's found in Morocco. Moroccan pudding stone and Roxbury pudding stone are the same rock. They know because of the striations. This pretty church on our right, this is called the Trinity. This is considered to be one of the most important pieces of architecture in the United States. The architect's name was Henry Hobson Richardson, and he called the architectural style Richardsonian because apparently he was a modest guy. But it's a beautiful church. It's architecturally an important church. It was the first piece of architecture from the United States to influence European architecture. So that was a pretty big deal. Did you say you're from Los Angeles originally, ma'am? You were born in LA? Were you raised in LA too? No, born in LA. Nice to have you, my friend. Now living in Miami. Look over here ahead of us on the left-hand side. That's the original location of MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. They were originally, did you know, a Boston school. And then they moved to Cambridge after a fellow called George Eastman, who's kind of a patron of the arts, gives them a bunch of money. He was a founder of a lot of, at least a patron of a lot of technology schools. But yeah, the original MIT was right over here.
Оригинальное здание MIT, они уехали
Now, when the MIT campus
в
was here in Back Bay, Boston, they were actually next to the original Museum of Natural History, which has been turned into the Museum of Science and moved elsewhere. We'll see it a little later, but this is the location of the original Museum of Natural History on the left-hand side. Currently, that's the Restoration Hardware flagship store, but that's a really good place to get a $300 hammer with a compass in the handle, Bluetooth optional, turns into a flask. What you're seeing on the left-hand side is the world's easiest hedge maze at 18 inches tall. This is apparently because the new generation is a very delicate generation, and apparently somebody got lost in a hedge maze and they sued a class action lawsuit. No hedge mazes in Massachusetts now taller than 18 inches, so it's not scaring the younger people. I'm Generation X. We went into a hedge maze. It was like a 75% chance we weren't coming out. Our parents didn't care if we winded up like Nicholson in the end of The Shining, you know what I mean? They said if it doesn't kill you, make you stronger. Be back in before the lights are on. We were feral, you know what I mean? We had a real hedge maze. But this is the hedge mazes now, it's fine. Why are you honking? Here we go. This is working out nicely. Now we're moving. I love it when we're moving. The wind is riffling over our hair, and we're getting into the older part of Boston. It's a nice sunny day out. It's a nice climate here today. Not too humid, not too nothing, not buggy. It's very nice. Look at that beautiful church on our left-hand side. That's called Arlington Street Church. And now, if I'm being honest, I would say architecturally, but there's really good windows in here by Tiffany. None other than Louis Comfort Tiffany, the stained glass artisan. Not, of course, Tiffany, the singer from the 80s. I think we're alone now, but stained glass artisan. I'm not impugning the work of Tiffany, the singer, either. I know a lot of people are sensitive. She does wonderful work. She's no Britney, but she's good. So this is the windows that are by Tiffany that you're seeing right there in front of us. Now, he didn't actually do all of the windows. That was a little hyperbole on my part. Tour guides are often hyperbolic, about 145% of the time, but there are a handful of windows that are not Tiffany because he died before this project could be finished. And so the Tiffany windows, almost all of them, the last two are not Tiffany. It's his last project, and so they had to use obviously lesser quality. They went to Joe's Stained Glass Emporium in Medford and just kind of stick on, it's like Tom Brady carrying a sheep across a field of lilies. Look at this. This is the public garden, the beautiful public garden, and I'll surprise you by telling you, it's also landfill. Now, it predates the Back Bay landfill project. That was 1858 when it started. This was 1837, so this also predates steam technology, which means that they literally had to do this by hand. Look at the swan boats over there. That's the charming little jewel of the public garden. Look how they're powered. Look at that guy behind the swan. That's how they're powered. Since 1877, they've been powered like that. This is a Boston tradition. Did you go on one? And you just sat there, right? You went on today? Yeah, they're fun. They're nice. This one went on as well? Okay, nice to have you. Yeah, this is how they've been powered since 1877. Just one
Центральный парк
person
тоже на насыпном грунте сделан. Вручную фактически таскали сюда грунт.
That's a French word, lagoon, which means lagoon, I think. We have a beautiful botanical garden as well, and I would definitely recommend getting into the actual botanical part of the public garden because all of these trees, they have little plaques and things which denote the species and genus of the tree. We have the first public display of tulips here, very, very nice. The squirrels are very, very friendly here, very friendly squirrels. Do you want me to get a picture, son? Let me see. Come on. I'll take it. You take good pictures. I can tell your work is like Janusz Kaminski's work from the 70s. Oh, you want me to get a picture of you guys? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I thought you. Okay, here we go. Okay, are you ready? Did you say this is Nice? There you go. That's going to be a good picture, son. Nice to have you, sure. Okay, here we go. Now we're going into the old stuff. It's time. We're leaving Back Bay landfill. Everybody say bye, Back Bay. Bye. Here we go. Into the old stuff we go. Now this is the Boston Common. This is actually the original 40-acre parcel that becomes Boston. There's a sign here, of course, that says this land founded by the Puritans. That's taking some liberties. I'm sure founded by the Puritans is not accurate because the Native Americans probably would have said, hey, thanks for finding the land we've been living and fishing on for a small and apparently insignificant period of 5 millennia. But you could say the Puritans found this area. Although, in fact, there was an Anglican here for 5 years from 1625 to 1630. For some reason, we never talk about him, but his name is Reverend William Blackston. He was an Anglican. He bought the land from the Native Americans and sold it to the Puritans, making him America's first real estate flipper. But the one who gets all the attention is Governor John Winthrop. He's the one that everybody talks about. He's the one that gets all the attention, like my brother. This is also where the Redcoats lived. So from 1768 to 1775, 3,000 to 5,000 British soldiers lived on this land as well. This was the encampment and the training ground here. So this was the back bay of the Charles River. So when those Redcoats go to seize the weapons and ammunition, is in the midnight ride of Paul Revere, which direction do they go by? The river. You know, the sea would have been a mistake. Yeah, it says one if by land, two if by sea. But in being literal, the sea is way on the other side. They would have had to row against the current, you know. It's just that sea is really easy to rhyme with. See, me, you know, be, knee, tree, flee, you know, be, knee. Oh, key. Oh my God. Yeah, but I mean, we could go on in perpetuity between the two of us, you know. But it's liver. One by land, two by river. Paul Revere had a fatty liver or something. That would have been accurate, I guess. He had 16 children, so fatty liver was a probability. But this is where they left from. Isn't that amazing? Now look at this on our right-hand side. The Frog Pond, one of my favorite places, because yes, I am a dad, and I have very good memories here because dads know how to do birthday parties on the cheap. Mom gets a clown something often, but a dad will take a kid out, just hop in the car, we freestyle. And I went up with my son for his birthday last year. He and his friends, he had such a good time splashing the other kids, you know how they do, making a big mess and everything, drinking the water, you know. They kicked him out eventually. He's 19, but he had a really good time when he was there. He's another theater major. Third generation in my family, by the way, of impractical people. Here we are at the top of the State House, the top of Beacon Hill, and this has got such a beautiful view up here. And look at the wonderful statues in front of our State House. There's JFK, the 35th President of the United States. Now there in the distance, that's not Darth Vader, that's Anne Hutchinson, who tried to reform the Puritans, which went about as well as you can expect it to have gone. And there's our State House on the left, and the 54th Regiment of Robert Gould Shaw Monument on the right. This is designed by Charles Bulfinch, our State House itself. On our left-hand side, we have another statue that's got a lot of subtext. Look what it says underneath. It says, witness for religious freedom, but it says, hanged on the Boston Common, 1660. Hanged by whom? Hanged what? The Puritans. The Puritans, do you remember they came out seeking religious freedom, and then they get here and then they hang the Quakers and everybody who's not a Puritan. She would walk from Rhode Island, that woman, to preach Quakerism. There's the Filibuster restaurant on the right. It's a really good restaurant. It takes forever to get your order. It's like the waiters will be arguing about something completely unrelated. This is 122 Bowdoin Street, the address on the driver's license of JFK, the 35th President of the United States. He maintains his residency there on the 3rd floor so he could be in this voting district, and only so he could be in this voting district. At least that's what they want me to tell you. Now this is the north slope of Beacon Hill, which is called the home of the abolition movement. William Lloyd Garrison, Charles Sumner, Wendell Phillips, Frederick Douglass, Sojourner Truth, all the heavy hitters on the abolition front would be in this area, the north slope of Beacon Hill. In fact, this church over here is called the Church of St. John the Evangelist, and it's being turned into condos for better or worse. I'm sorry, for worse. And the minister there, his name was Lyman Beecher, but he's not very famous, but it's his daughter who's very famous, Harriet Beecher Stowe, who later goes on to write Uncle Tom's Cabin. Yes, she grew up here. Didn't write it here, but she grew up here, at least in the formative years. I wanted to point this out because I think it's an interesting piece of architecture. It's a style of architecture called brutalism. It's from the 1970s. What I think is interesting about it is how did the same decade that brought us the Sid and Marty Krofft Super Show and the Bee Gees and ABBA bring us this miserable piece of architecture? Look at it, it's terrible. Do you like it? Nobody likes it. The architect didn't like it. He was having marriage troubles. They were expressing themselves in this architecture. Actually, we probably shouldn't even be looking at it. We'll only encourage it. Let's look at something else. Look, there's a 7-Eleven. Just like home, man. There's a 7-Eleven. Look up here. Look at this building on our right. That's called the West Church. That was a polling place in Kennedy's day. This was a stop along the Underground Railroad. Yep, right over here. The West Church. Now the question is, why do they call it the West Church? Is it west of something? Well, it's in the West End, that's all. So it's called the West Church because this is called the West End. Now the question is, what's the West End west of? And that's a good question. And the answer is Paris. Is it west of anything in Boston? Not really. I mean, it's west of the North End, but only by virtue of the fact that the North End is all the way out to the east. Is everything west of the North End? The East End is east, the North End is also east, the West End is north. Where does the sun set? Over the South End of Boston. Welcome to Boston. Where, by the way, the South End isn't the same thing as Southie. That's a very common misunderstanding for people that are not from here. They think the South End and Southie are the same. The South End is to Southie what Celine Dion is to Ozzy Osbourne, to use a musical metaphor. Do you know what I mean? Can I use musical metaphor to talk around subjects? Okay. But here we are, going into the South End, I mean going into the West End, which is all the way to the north. This is what I think is kind of interesting. In the middle of this building over here is the Department of Mental Health. First of all, don't ask me how I know that, but second of all, this is the Department of Mental Health? Really? You're going to make this building the Department of Mental Health? A building that looks like it was designed by Terry Gilliam on a down day, you're going to make the Department of Mental Health? I went in with a mild anxiety to the Department of Mental Health in Boston. I came out with a crippling melancholy because look at this building. Do you know what I mean? It's so depressing. That's not even... Actually, let's look at it to determine who among you are right-brained and who among you are left-brained. This is always a fascinating interaction to me because the right-brained and creative people can spot the frog in the facade of this building, and the left-brained people cannot. It is not a measurement of intelligence, okay? My mother-in-law has 2 PhDs and she cannot see the frog. I go, look, Mom, there's a frog. And she goes, don't call me Mom. So she can't see it. But can you see it? He found it right away. See, this guy, I knew it. Of course he finds it in Studio City. Who else sees it? Found it, found it, found it. Interesting. How, and now, see, now this is my favorite part. Look at the guy back trying to explain to people that can. I like to watch the people that can see it, try and explain to people that cannot see it.